Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, know the devil just lost one. Before this night is done, straight to you, Lord, I will run. A greater love, no, there is none. Yeah, the devil just lost one.
All right, welcome back to the Faith Next podcast. This season, we're talking about Ghosted. This is episode 3. And if you've been following along, we've been having some very ghosty conversations.
Toasty.
Essentially the concept, you know what being ghosted is about. If you're talking to somebody and then they just kind of leave you hanging
Hot and dry.
high and dry. And, we're kind of looking at how we can relate that to not only our conversations with our fellow man, but with God. We're looking at sometimes I might pray and God kind of leave me hanging. I'm in church, I'm doing all the right things, but I feel like He's not answering me. He's ghosted me. Not to be confused with the Holy Ghost. This is a Holy Ghost. This episode we're talking about blue ticks, which is essentially when your message has been delivered for sure, but you still haven't gotten a reply. You're left on scene.
Red.
Oh, yeah, correct. And how do we really deal with that? How do you really deal with that knowledge, with that conflict that now arises, where our message, our prayer has been sent, our pains have been voiced, and we still haven't gotten the answers that we seek?
Well, thinking about the prayer being voiced and for sure that God has taken notice.
Yeah.
It just depends on where we are at with our Christian walk, right? Because for the person who is a believer, right, and who thinks that there's a nice end to this, it kind of brings a sense of hope and comfort, knowing that the mere fact that it's been seen, I know it's been delivered, I know it's also been seed, so now I'm waiting expectantly for something to happen, right? And on the converse side, if it's somebody who's already in that much of in the ghosted dilemma where your emotions and your anxiety is already at an all-time high, I think it will just continue to exacerbate the issue that where you feel as if, well, now for sure, I know that you've seen, I know that you've read, and like as if you've been deliberate in trying not to give me the satisfaction of a response. Like
you're playing in my face.
Yeah.
I've come to you with my problems. I know that you can fix it.
Yeah.
Right now, you're just being mean. You're just being mean to me right now.
Correct. Left high and dry. Right.
I think that's an interesting way to transition to the text that I'd like to bring to the fore so that we could just kind of take a little look-see and see what's going on. And that's Habakkuk 2, verse 3. And it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." And this is an interesting point in Habakkuk where God is like, okay, here's an answer. It's not really an answer, but it's an answer. And I only say it's not really an answer because the resolution has not been resoluted.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Resolved.
God is like, I prefer resoluted for sure. And because God has said that He will do what He has already said that He will do, He's come to remind you that He will do that for sure.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that it's been resolved. And I think this is the point where a lot of people kind of come to some sort of like disparity, where they're like, okay, God is good, but my mother died today.
Yeah.
But my sister is over there struggling today. Where is that? We've spoken about this. I've put away all my sins, so to speak. I fasted, I've prayed.
Yeah.
Where are you now? And I think it's really interesting in the story of Lazarus, because when they came to tell Jesus that Lazarus was dying, he said, "Okay, I'll be there in the appointed time."
The appointed time. Yeah.
And then Lazarus dies. And they come to say, "All right, I don't know what your appointed time is, but Lazarus just died." And you know what's really beautiful about that? Jesus wept at that point.
Correct.
Jesus was sad. Jesus felt the pain. So I feel like people are like, I've heard it said before that God is irresponsible in his timing because he's above our pain.
Well, let me build on that for a second, right?
Hit me.
So, if we take just before, I think it's Habakkuk 2, right?
Yeah.
If we go back, Habakkuk he places his plight before God.
Yeah.
Right? He talks about what's happening, these people, and God basically responds to him. And God responds to him in a way that he does not want. Because God is telling him, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the judgment that you are after, right? But I'm going to do it via the Babylonians. And now what he's saying is, look, it seems a little bit contradictory.
Yeah.
So like if you go back to, like the Lazarus story, it's like, okay, God, he is sick. If you don't come now, he's going to die. And God's
I've seen you heal people. I've seen you bring people back from sickness.
Correct.
You can do this. And he's right there.
Yeah. And so he's like, as if he's saying, okay, look, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I get him. So it's like as if what they were expecting, even in the Lazarus story, is they were expecting that God would take an immediate route, just do a beeline and head straight to Lazarus.
Yeah.
Besides, that's your friend,
Come
that's your good buddy.
That's
where we eating and drinking.
That's your peoples.
Grape juice.
Yeah.
Right? But that's where we lime in, right? And so they would have expected that God would have, Christ would have taken a beeline to her.
Yeah.
But here it is, God is saying, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And he, as if
Hit
he
them up
notes
blue
it.
ticks.
Correct. He takes note of it. So it's like, in Habakkuk's situation, in my mind, I'm thinking like he is in that same dilemma. He's asking God to deal with the situation that he sees of this injustice. And then God basically gives him a response. And the response that he gives him is not a response that he wants.
Right.
And so it's as if like, here it is, you present me with another contradiction. Because what I asked about prior was a contradiction.
Yeah.
It's like, you are all good. You are all knowing. You're supposed to be in control. Why allow that to happen? You understand? Why allow me to feel left on red? And here he's saying like, yeah, well, I saw you, buddy.
Yeah.
Right? And then now he's saying, okay, look, this is the way I'm going to do it. And I think in the Christian experience, it's very difficult for one to reconcile the answer sometimes that God gives us when in our mind's eye there's a straight answer.
Yeah.
You understand? I am
Easy
sick.
solution.
I am sick, heal me.
It's simple.
I just want to be well again. I just want to be with my family again.
Yeah.
You understand? I just want justice again. So
Yeah.
I think, allowing the blue tick scenario to persist, especially when the response or when what's coming is not what you expect, actually further deepens this sort of, like, as if you say that you are in touch with me, but like you don't get it.
Yeah. I think that's a very powerful perspective to take. It also brings it back to us in terms of how we interpret what's happening.
Correct.
Because the issue wasn't that God didn't respond. The issue is the response didn't really make sense.
Right.
And sometimes God's silence doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to us.
Mm-hmm.
And in a very real scenario, I'm bringing it back to the blue tick scenario. Like, I work in, we do some media stuff, whatever. Sometimes you're editing a little video, you have to export it, upload it, send it out to the client, right? So sometimes, I would ask the other guy that I'm working with, I was like, hey, did you send across this file? And then he would see the message, and the message would be, I'll be waiting, 5 minutes gone, 10 minutes gone. And he hits me. And the message that I get is that it's uploading right now, it's gonna go out. Now, I understand that the processes to edit to edit, to render, export,
Yeah.
upload, and then send. What he's been doing is that, it's in his queue. So what he does is he goes ahead, exports,
Yeah.
uploads, and then he's like, okay, I've shared it with the client. It's uploading right now. It'll be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, what's happening? And I mean, I understand that's how he operates.
Correct.
So I take no pain
qualms
in
about
it.
it. Yeah.
But it's because I understand how he operates, and I think that's a key part. Sometimes the blue ticks mean that I've seen your query, I've seen your issue, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
No, some people might have a problem with that.
Correct.
Some people might be like, communicate with me. No, sometimes your plate is full. You honestly don't need the live updates
Correct.
because it wouldn't help, it wouldn't add. I feel like I'll get a lot of pushback from that. A lot of pushback.
Yeah.
And it's and I've heard that discussion, and it's because I view the world the way that I do.
Right.
But if between you and I, we understand what it is that we're doing, and I understand your character, and I understand what you're about and what you're doing, then I'm not anxious about what's gonna happen on the other side of blue ticks.
Right.
Because I understand who you are and what you'll be doing.
Yeah. I think even when you think about, well, or at least when I think about blue ticks, right?
Yeah.
It's like a precursor to a response.
Yeah.
Right? You kind of already know that something, well, you would at least believe that the individual has taken notice, right? And if we go back again to Habakkuk, right? God's response to Habakkuk is kind of interesting because he points out to Habakkuk that there already was a plan in motion, because he says, I'm rising up this nation. Habakkuk knows of the nation, so he's already privy to the fact that there's something at work. What he does not know, because he takes offense to the way in which the Babylonians are expanding their kingdom and how they go about doing things, right? But what he does not know, that this is part of God's plan in presenting him with a response, right? So when God talks to him, he says, look, I'm already doing a thing, right? It's already at work, right? Because he's sitting waiting, it's now he's responding to what has already been said. There is a thing at work already, unbeknownst to you, right? And a lot of times, to me, in my mind, like as Christians, when we are faced with these different dilemmas, where there's the tarry between our answered prayers and the way in which God basically approaches it, is that, God has already heard us. It's text that says, before you call, I will answer, and while you are
yet speaking,
I will hear, all right? And then oftentimes what we interpret that to mean is that God is going to answer in the
solution,
instant. Right? It's
resolve.
Like, it's already there.
It's resoluted.
Correct. Right? Yeah, So it's like, and in my mind, I think like what God is trying to do is he's trying to, help reshape our minds and for us to realize that no, it's not necessarily that I'm going to answer in the instant, right? In the way that you expect. As a matter of fact, I have already answered.
Yeah.
Right? I've already been working on, before you even call, I already answered. So which means that the solution for what you are being anxious about, what you are getting blue tick, blue tick fever
You're
about.
blue ticked off.
Right? I have already begun an answer. As a matter of fact, I've already completed the answer.
Yeah.
And so it's like your inability to grab what God is doing kind of, puts additional anxiety and strain into the situation.
Yeah.
And God is saying, look, no, just follow this particular response. The response is, I'm already working. So the mere fact you see a blue tick, to me, it indicates that there is already work being done.
Yeah.
It's not yet ready for delivery.
Yeah.
Right? But there's work being done. So I take the position of the one that's hopeful. Blue tick for me is a expression of hope, of things that are in the works.
Why do you think you have that perspective? Or I want to ask a bit more difficultly, how can you come about that perspective?
I think like with the whole essence of being ghosted, I think it's a journey through faith. Right? I think everybody starts at different points. Right? And I think we all, if we're honest, started at the point where there was an element of doubt.
Yeah.
And it's only by experience and experiencing God and the way in which He works, it helps you to, kind of have hindsight before. You know, so you could, you could say like, okay, well, look, I'm a trust that what He's done in the past, He will do now, right? Because He's consistent, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the way I got to that, that particular perspective, right, that I have today is that I am learning, because it's a process. It would be remiss for me to think that I have arrived, because I've not, right? I'm learning to take God at His word. So if He says that He has begun a good thing, then I'm going to take Him at the word that He's done a good thing. And why would I take Him at the word that He's done a good thing? Because in a prior experience, when I was down on my knees, or I was down and out and hoping that something would come, is when He finally delivers after my anxious bout, right? I realized that had I simply trusted, then I would have been a lot more calm, I would have been a lot more receptive, and I would have been able to celebrate through the moment. As a matter of fact, even one of my most recent experiences has kind of further cemented that, right? Understanding that the way in which God works, it's about trying to build relationship. And we need to kind of migrate out of the transactional nature of things. And what that looks like is we're looking for an immediate response to something that disturbs us.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like as if I have a broken leg.
Yeah.
Right? And what I want is I want God to
fix it,
heal my broken leg.
Fix my leg now.
As a matter of fact, I want Him to take away the pain because it's hurting now.
It hurts.
I can't go to work. I have things to do. What you're really asking God for in that moment is you're asking Him for a painkiller. Because you don't want to feel the pain. You want to be able to continue to move forward. But what God is telling you, no, I don't want to give you a painkiller. What I want to do is I want to heal you. So His approach is more of a long-term response where there is complete resolution. So what He's after is He's after complete resolution, right, of the problem. But what we want is temporary appeasement. So just in the now, because it's uncomfortable. So I have, I think I was joking slightly when I said that I have a high pain threshold. But I think the high pain threshold comes with the knowledge that I believe with all earnesty that it will get better. So it's not hinged on the now, but it's hinged on what I expect to happen. So I place my faith not where I can tangibly take record, but I place it on where I think it could be.
Right. I think that's stellar. And I think you can have that because you know who God is.
Correct.
Because you understand His character. In Isaiah 30, verse 1:8, it says, "Therefore the Lord will wait that He may be gracious to you, and therefore He will be exalted, that He may have mercy on you. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all those who wait for Him."
Yeah.
And it says here that we understand, or rather, if you understand that God is a God of justice, and all things will come around and work together for your good, then in the moment, the pain that you experience while you have voiced it to God, you understand that what you're going through at that point is not Him not answering you, but it's Him answering you in the way that is best for you.
Yep. And geared towards complete resolution.
Correct.
Right? Because if you can take the same experience and you can extrapolate it this way and say, look, there's somebody who has a family member who's sick, probably terminally ill. They're looking just to be able to spend some more time with this loved one. They maybe have things that they would like to talk about, places that they would want to go, things that they have on their bucket list. And some disease comes about and says, hey, what's going on? You realize that I don't have I don't have time, but you're praying God for a blessing. As a matter of fact, you bring the pastor, you bring the oil, You bring the deacons,
shut
you
down
bring
the
the
church.
you have full night prayer fast
Yeah.
because as far as you're concerned, that the way in which we get God's ear, you understand, is by interceding in this particular way, and you do all of that, and still that family member dies. What do you do? What do you say then? It is a hard thing to reconcile.
Yeah.
Because what you wanted is you wanted to spend just a little bit more time with this person. But the beautiful thing about the Christian hope is this: God has already answered that particular problem. Because what he has promised is that you would be able to spend eternity with them. So what you want is you want the extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Christ is saying, look, here going on. All you need to do is have your faith anchored in me. This is the path. And what I'm guaranteeing you is
Way
guaranteeing
more than 5
you
minutes.
it's more than 5 minutes. So what you want is you want a painkiller. And it's hard for us to kind of, in my mind, for us to reconcile that, because in the moment, that seems to be the straightest path to what we need.
Yeah.
What I need to be able to make my next step. And God's answers always kind of seem to feel like as if it is this long-winded thing, because it has to take its course. What he wants is he wants complete resolution.
Yeah. No, I think that one of the toughest things that I would kind of head into is a situation like that, where someone comes to me and says, bro, my mother just died, and we've prayed and we did everything, and now I don't even want to see God.
Correct.
I don't even want to hear God. I don't want to hear anything about God, because it's clear to me that he doesn't care about me. Now, in a very real sense, I understand that, sure, heaven is coming. Eternity is coming. But in that moment, what do you say to that person? What do you give that person that sees the current flourishing of sin?
Yeah.
That doesn't understand that, hey, there are bigger things at play. They can't feel beyond that. And I think that's
tough.
yeah.
It's tough.
I think that's one of the things that, I'm just there for them.
Yeah.
It's just because I think it's like Jesus when he heard that Lazarus died, just cried. Because he felt their pain, and that's, in that moment, that's kind of all he could do, knowing what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Because he knew that in that moment, even though he was going to bring Lazarus back from the dead, in that moment, they still felt pain.
Correct.
And he empathized. Not
Yeah.
emphasize. Good grief.
Emphasize love.
Yeah, correct. He empathized with them.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of miss that part sometimes as Christians.
Yeah.
Because we like, okay, yeah, well, your 5 minutes multiplied a trillion-fold in eternity.
Yeah.
But right now, the pain is here. We need to sit with them, sit in that pain, and be like, it does suck to have someone, to lose someone that you've created your entire reality around.
Correct.
The loss is painful.
I think that it's fair, right? And I think like I was mentioning, like, it's a journey. There's a journey that you have to take through faith, right? So not everybody will be able to have, for lack of a better term, such a mature viewpoint.
But Naz, I think even if you do have a mature viewpoint, it's still gonna hurt.
Bro, let me tell you, I went to a funeral once, right? And I saw the mother of the deceased sing, praise God in her pain, son brutally murdered, and praises God in the pain because she is anchored on the hope of a resurrection. She's anchored on the fact that she will see her son again. Why? Because she's confident in the life that he lived.
Yeah.
Knowing that, hey, as long as this individual stays connected to Christ and I do the same, I will then again see him. So if you think about what she is doing, is she She's resolving the dissonance, right? Everybody wants her to be angry. Everybody wants her to be sad. Everybody wants her to be torn up about it because it's devastating. But what she is able to see something that most people cannot see because in my mind, she has had a paradigm shift. What she is seeing is that this life is temporary. The conditions of this earth is temporary. God has already resolved this situation. So she would ask for forgiveness for the killers of her son because she would want them to have an experience with the God that her son knew. For you to get to that particular perspective where you can,
that's a level.
It's a paradigm shift. You now have to realize that, look, what God has done, because like if you were to go back to the one of the questions from the first episode, right? You have this problem, the problem where evil is rampant in the world, and you are now asking for you now have your questions about why God is doing what He's doing when He should have the ability to control things. If we were to take the mother and interject her into that situation, what she has seen is God has already solved the problem. What we are experiencing is just the manifestation of, or just the manifestation of what's going on now. So the paradigm shift has to come where our mindset moves from just being able to think about now and think about eternity. Think about God and how He resolves things completely. Not a temporary fix, not a plaster of a sore, not a cast for a broken leg. No, new bones.
At the end of the day, Nads, this is the Faith Next podcast.
Faith Next.
And I think we've, in a lot of spaces, grown, I don't want to say complacent.
Yeah.
But we've been comfortable with taking the view that everybody else takes on not just God, but reality as we know it. I think it's almost rude to know that God has conquered sin and death and the grave, and then to turn around and now doubt. And now, to be fair, I don't think it's doubt. You still experience the pain, but the pain is different, I think, for the person who knows the God who has the keys to the grave.
Yeah.
The pain is different for the person who knows that social injustice will be retributed. Vengeance is mine. God He won't leave it undone. But He just might not do it now when we think it's to be done. I think this is more of an aspirational episode.
I get you.
This is more of a place that we can be, and it's not impossible. Like you witnessed, it's not impossible to get to a place where you understand the God that you serve, and you understand not only His character, but His investment in your life, His investment in the world that we live in, and everything that has gone on that is injustice, that is pain, that is the result of a sin-ravaged world. I think our greatest, takeaway is to try to see God and meet God in a new light. To meet God as He is, not as we see Him or not as we are.
Right.
Because that's what we kind of do.
Yeah.
You know? We put our qualities onto God, our logic onto God, our timing onto God, and He's told us time and again, He's not about that.
Yeah.
His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. We're here. He's here, and behind.
Yeah.
Before we call, He's answered. He's solved the entire thing before we even are aware of a problem. So I feel like, how you feel about that? I feel like that's a direction to push.
Yeah.
In that complete resolve in Christ.
Yeah. Like take blue ticks.
Yeah.
Take blue ticks as hope.
Yeah. Take blue ticks as hope. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the end of episode 3, guys.
See you
Take
next.
no ticks as hope. See you guys in the next episode.
Next episode.
It was great chatting with Nads.
Hey man, always.
Nice. Wow, that was
Yeah,
terrible.
that was
terrible. Terrible.
Man.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, I know the devil just lost one. Before this night is done, straight to you, Lord, I would run. A greater love, no, there is none. Yeah, the devil just lost one. Before I see the sun, I know the battle's won. When the rain has just begun, know the devil just lost one. See the battle is done. Straight to you, Lord, I would run. A greater love, no, there is none. Yeah, the devil just lost one. The devil just lost. No more tears, no more tears, no more tears. I will trust in you, Lord. So the devil just lost one. Oh, devil just lost one. Ooh, the devil just lost one.